There are a lot of people that have different thoughts about where depression comes from and where it originates. And probably the reality is it has many different types of potential beginning. It's a very complicated interplay between what your genetics are, to what your environment is, what kind of stress. Do you have a safe environment, or are you in a very difficult environment where there's a lot of screaming, fighting, people getting hit or harmed? It's really going to impact the brain and how that person feels.
One of the first things that I look for is their experience of loss, because that's essentially what depression is about.
Maybe mom and dad are having marital problems, maybe the family's just moved, maybe they've been moved into a new school.
Death of a loved one, death of a parent. I have a case where it's the death of a child. So the kind of suffering over that issue would be evident.
Another possibility is you're born to parents who already themselves had a history of depression. So you may be at what we call a genetic risk for depression. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to develop it, but you may have an actual risk for it, and maybe, again, if certain stressful events occur and things happen, it may actually trigger the depression.
Some things that may trigger depression: any major loss, including death of a loved one, breakup with boyfriend or girlfriend, falling out with friends, moving, divorce of parents, biological changes, drug and alcohol abuse, genetics, illness, bullying, stressful environment.
Environmental issues are a critical factor in assessing a youngster's emotional state.
And growing up in the projects, you always see kids, not going to school or whatnot, or, not working, not doing the right thing, smoking, doing drugs, partying, drinking, different kind of stuff like that.
Cliques and the friends you hang around with are a key factor in influencing teens' behavior and emotions.
I had a lot of troubles with friends and that sort of thing, just that compounded that whole experience and that depression. And I think I just felt a lot of pressure to be the perfect student, to get hundreds on all my homework, and all my tests. I got a 97 on my science final, and that was a bad thing.
You know how they say a girl may make you or they can break you. So she kind of did both of it. In the beginning, everything was beautiful, it was great. She actually made me the person I was. When we broke it off, I was so depressed that